righteous stars can withstand the harsh words of the critics. It's time to listen to your reviews, Talk.
I admire your skill in the hunt, though you could use some refinement.
I'll give you that. You know how to smack the skeezers down. But not quite like me.
And I have been treating you for so very long, relatively speaking. Let us begin with that fine fellow Hejira. You'll remember him, don't you?
I thank you for getting me this far.
Smashing work, Talk. But he was a fairly easy one, wouldn't you say? Truly a man who could handle himself. Crosses to bear. You remember poor Kyle.
That's the... yeah.
Parasitic junkie. You may have helped him, but to what end?
Were you more helpful when the subject was someone a bit more easy on the eyes? Do you remember Consuela?
Maybe Ernesto was wrong. Clearly not all the inmates in Abbott are the devil incarnate.
Most touching. It would appear chivalry is not quite dead, merely decomposed. Fellow saddled with the nickname of Junior. I wonder, did Warden Elroy II know of your previous crimes?
I owe you, Torque. Big time.
You're so good. I would have done him up nice, just to see if he liked it like that. He looks like the type.
but he was a strong man. How do you react to other strong men?
Bloody hell! I'd say thank you, but at this point, I don't know if you did me a favor. None of us are gonna live forever, are we?
I admire professional men, but I would not lift a finger to help someone who shirks his responsibilities.
Now, last but far from least, your dear friend Miles. Feel your mind drift back to that moment in his cell block when it all came to a head.
And what the fuck is up with you, my man? First I hear this, I can't believe I say no way. Not my man, Torque.
What made him so very angry at you? And what happened to him there? Your inaction hardly seems worth commenting on, but he seems to have found out your original sin. Thoughts?
We will leave no doubt. It has been a pleasure pursuing a prey as worthy as you, but every good hunt must end. I do suspect there might be a runaway in the family tree. Who were your people? Do you even know? Man or animal? Who owned your great-grandfather, your great-grandmother? It is likely that I was once commissioned by their master. If that is true, this is a generation hunt. The ending will be sweet, but also sad. Beloved, Carmen, her ancestors I knew. Before you, they were my greatest hunt. They always escaped together. It made them easy to track. They refused to separate, even to save their own hides. Carmen's great-great-grandparents I returned to their rightful owner 5 times. The 6th time they escaped, the swamp must have claimed them, because we never found a trace. And as we know, I never lost a prey. I do not need you to seek so much as to eat. Some creatures went to run and hide, but not I. Never. Can you smell his flesh, my hunters? Every last one of them. The hunt must go on. The slaves were the most advanced of all the animal kingdom. Our hunter provided a great challenge. Eat as much as you want, my hunter killers. We are not being compensated for this. I found with most of the slaves, you could remove their shackles, yet still would not run. A good shot. Do not think you are near. Do not think you are near. Miles to go before you slip. So now, I know the feeling.
Now, my little one, let me show you something special. In my game, I needed somewhere people could be taught a lesson.
They were pretty bad people, huh?
Oh yes, very bad. Cheaters, liars, fools. I'd tie them up first, and in they would go.
Could they get out?
No, that was the whole idea. They'd choke on the filth and waste in there, and they'd learn.
Damn!
Now, who have you brought with you there?
My little brother, Malcolm. Dumbass.
He's just in your way, isn't he?
Yeah, most times.
You'll never get far in the game with him holding you back. Go on. Shove him in. Teach him.
I don't know.
Think about it. What would your father do?
No! I won't do it! I'll never do it!
Too bad he has such a loser for a role model. But he's still cramping my game.
Dad! Please!
Nothing can ruin you, T.
You're alive? You're the first thing I've seen come out of that hole with 4 normal limbs. I thought you were either dead or were going to turn into something else any minute. Pleased to meet you. I'm Rance True.
He seems eccentric, but harmless.
He will ruin you.
He's not what he seems.
Bleed him out. Splatter his brains. Kill, kill, kill.
You were an abbot, just like me. I could tell from the pants, of course, but also your eyes. The eyes can't hide what they have seen. They transferred me out of Abbott when I wouldn't stop talking about what I'd learned. They thought Eastern would be better for me. They were wrong. I'm just waiting down here. I escaped from Eastern during the Cataclysm. Ran my legs tired out there for a while. Dropped too many of my papers, I'm sad to say. Now I'm just going to stay right here in this strange oasis. The things come out of that hole and then they go right up those stairs. Don't even stop to say hello. It's as if they know I'm special. Don't bother. To look at it, you might think Carnate was somewhere unique. But now I'm sure you agree. Everywhere you go, the soil is that. You've heard about the Warden from Eastern? Not Junior, his father, Warden Elroy the First, the one that kept inmates in solitary until their brains melted. And he was coming up in the ranks at the time of the Great Fire under the machine shop. Of course, in the end, Warden Elroy the Senior got his in a riot. The inmates paid dearly for that. They never got the blood stains out of the This whole city was built on the backs of the exploited. Even in Monument City, you don't see a memorial to the ones that died in construction cave-ins. It was cheaper to hire another Irishman than to have safe conditions. Underground Railroad came through here, and these days that usually makes people feel proud. Too bad the infamous slave hunter Copperfield came to Baltimore one dark day and had his mutts eat all the slave flesh they could find. And you've heard of the Reverend over at the soup kitchen? During the shortages of the Depression, he found some perfectly fresh human corpses. Fed the hungry with them. Never understood why that upset him. In this city, if a prostitute is reported missing, the report goes right in the trash. If they counted, they'd know a few decades back, 71 street workers disappeared. Cops don't know about Luther Stickwell, but the underground knows him well enough to call him the Creeper. Once I tried that trick on myself with that sharpened spoon, they transferred me out of habit. And now look what's happened there. It's exactly like this. I just wanted to tell them the truth.